Hey guys, and welcome to the first ever episode of the swimming pool. We're going to be looking at a small house build today, so let's get started. So this house that I am building today is perfect for a starter home for anybody, whether it's maybe a young couple or a single sim with a pet or two. There is going to be a bedroom loft space above that can also be a studio or a small library. Directly above the living room is going to be a glass roof to allow tons and tons of sunlight in to make the space feel bigger than it really is. I'm choosing to do a switchback stair here because not only will it take up less length than just a straight stairwell, it will also help to define the living room when you get into placing furniture and stuff like that. So remember in Sims 4, you can't merely delete certain flooring tiles. So earlier when I made this room, I made a little bit of a mistake, so I'm going to remake this room by enclosing the part with the stair. And then I'll go ahead and turn this wall into the half wall that I wanted to and get rid of this little wing wall here. And boom, there it is, flooring at my loft space and then open to the ceiling above over my kitchen space. Because of how narrow this house is, we want to bring the roof pitch down just a little bit so that it doesn't look super long and tall proportionally to the rest of the house. So I'm not really liking all the symmetry that's going on with these porches that I've made right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just shrink them down and push them to alternating sides to be more of a symbol of entrance rather than an occupiable space. And I think this will give us an opportunity for some landscaping and gardening later on when we get to the outside of the house. The living room is directly on the other side of the front door, so we really want to have a lot of light coming in on this front wall of the house. So that's why we've got this big picture window in front of the stairs and the tall mirror window beside the door to allow as much light as can be into this smaller space. We also want to bring some light deeper into the house, so that's why I'm putting this larger window beside the staircase, and then these windows over here, over by the kitchen. This will become the kitchen area. Now we're going to start bringing these windows up into the second floor. Notice that I am not using just one single window type. I've got 3 different window types that I'm using here. You never really want to just stick with one type, but you also don't want to go overboard and have like 10 different types of windows either. Try and pick ones that architecturally speak the same language, and you should do fine. I am in love with this wood floor pattern from the Pets expansion. I think the colors are magnificent. The grain looks realistic without looking too crazy. So I noticed the doors that I chose have little flower boxes on them, and I currently placed them with the flower boxes facing into the house, and I want those to be facing outward, so I'm just flipping those around real quick. Even though this is a smaller house, I decided to go with a little bit of a larger bathroom just because I know in my life I hate small bathrooms where I can't move around. I do have the laundry day stuff packed, so this house will have a stackable washer and dryer. But if you don't have that pack, you can always extend the vanity so you have a double vanity, or you have a larger countertop for your sink. So here in the kitchen, I really like to design my Sims kitchens, how kitchens are designed in real life. In real life, you would never really have a refrigerator right next to a stove or a sink. You would typically always have some sort of counter buffer space between another appliance. Another big thing in kitchen design is what's called the triangle. It's the appliance triangle, and basically it's the relationship between a refrigerator, stove, oven, and a sink, and how they should make an ideal triangle. So it shouldn't be. There is an eat-in component with this kitchen. So basically, I just extended the countertops to be the bar type counters, and then that way they have a place to eat, and they're also looking out the windows and having all this light come in. Now onto the living room, and so this is what I was saying. How earlier when I chose to do this, the switchback stairs, that it creates a definition of space. So without having to completely close off the area using walls or something else, you've got that stair element that is bounding the room. So there's a definitive, this is where the room stops, and this is where the room starts, and so that's why I chose the switchback stair. So since I'm making this house for a single sim with a dog, I am just going with a single bed, but as you can see, the bedroom space is a 5x5 square, so you can easily get a double bed in here with additional furniture. But I'm going to stick with the single bed because I'd like to create a little study space, a little study nook for her with a desk and a bookshelf and a little chair, so that it's something a little bit more than just a simple bedroom. out here in the front where we created that little recess of area, using the porch, I think I'm going to go ahead and throw in a flower garden, something that brings color and life into the front facade of the house, and then bound it off using the decorative fences. And then here in the back, I'm thinking I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm going to go ahead and change the terrain to the dirt so that it looks like soil, and it can become a vegetable or an herb garden later on if my son chooses to become a gardener. Or, I can go ahead and add more plants later on as she decides what she wants that space to become. And there we have it for your new starter Sims to start their life out. Thanks for watching this episode of The Singing Pool. Hope to see you next time. Bye!